Hi, Sage Cotignola here. I'm a painter, illustrator, and muralist. I've participated in MoCA L.I.ghts art on the Marquee since 2021. That was the first time I introduced video and motion into my work. And since then, I've treated every year as an opportunity for creative exploration, just have a little fun with the format. My approach may be somewhat unusual. It's something like a puppet show with a lot of handmade elements. And I'm interested in that interplay between handmade, tactile elements and a digital format. So I'm going to share my process for the Marquee with you today. Maybe it'll spark some ideas for you as to some unique ways you can translate your own work into the GIF format. Maybe a particular interest for you if you tend to work traditionally. Maybe you're a painter or a sculptor and you don't have a lot of experience with animation. There's still plenty of opportunities for you to introduce motion into your work, even if you're not all that familiar with the different programs you can use to do some. So we are going to begin in Adobe Photoshop today. So for this process, I've built a little set piece to be my background. It's just made with cardboard, some paint, and some little found objects and bits and bobs from my studio and my apartment, like some buttons, some broken jewelry pieces. There's a guitar pick. There's just whatever things I could find around to kind of set this like space scene. You can change the way it looks a lot with the lighting, so it might not, you'll see it doesn't really look especially like this towards the end, but just create something visually interesting. The really important part, if you're going to use a backdrop, is just make it larger than the actual dimensions that are going to be filmed on your phone. You don't want to run into an issue where you're needing to crop and you don't have anywhere to go. Or perhaps you want to pan your camera around and you need some space to be able to do that. The next part of it for me is I've created these little puppet characters. Now, these little guys here are kind of like in the style I typically work in, so I'm just kind of illustrating like I would anything else. I painted them with gouache. This is the type of gouache I always use. But you know, you can create these however you wish. And for these guys, I'm just doing like a very simple puppetry thing. So they're just sticks taped to the back. It's just these wooden kebabs sticks. And I've kind of created this rig just so that I don't need to have 6 hands to be able to operate all of these. I can push them up and they'll stay up because of these. This is just like hair ties, elastic hair ties. This is a piece of packaging from grocery box. And I've just poked holes in it so that these characters can sit in and I can manipulate them. When I'm manipulating them in the actual video, I'm underneath this, puppeting them from below so that you can't see me. Now, the other puppet I've used in my video is this UFO prop. It's just, again, a paper piece that I've painted with some fishing line. I painted the fishing line black since my background's black, so it doesn't reflect as much light. And I've just created an armature so that I can puppet it from far away and I'm not in my own shot. So let's go to the actual filming process now. Just wanted to jump in and say something else about the puppetry aspect. You should always make prototypes beforehand. Don't go right to your finished characters and then they don't fit in the in your scene, or they don't work for some reason. It's going to be very frustrating. The other thing is that you can of course experiment with different types of puppetry if you're going to do this kind of thing. Here's one that a prototype I'm working on in another piece. It's going to be a dragon. There'll be an eye in here that can move around. So that's just another example. It's just a really simple paper sculpture.